My name is Father Kevin McCory. I've been a Roman Catholic priest for 14 years. I've been given this mystical gift and travel through time on God-given assignments. You'd think I'd be excited about that, but I'm not. For a long time, I've been suffering from depression and isolation. I'm not thrilled about time traveling, and I'm not thrilled about being a priest. But I comply with what God wants, I guess.
Kind Traveling Priest, Episode 1.
Akron, Ohio, 1940. Don't ask me how I got here, some kind of divine detour, I guess. 1 minute it's late at night in my rectory in 2025. I'm scrolling through parish emails that no one reads. The next thing I know, it's the crack of dawn and I'm stepping off a trolley. There's a smell of coal smoke and rubber. I'm wearing my collar, same as always. I always wear my clerics, my priest uniform. I have no need for other clothes because I never have anywhere to go. I spend all my time working at the church or alone in my room. God, I have a lonely job. I walk to the store, people awkwardly look at the collar and never say a word. But, 1940, everybody wants to talk to me.
Good morning, Father.
Hiya, Father.
For a second, I almost feel like a priest, but I never feel like a priest, even though I was ordained 14 years ago. I walked into a diner, more out of confusion than hunger. Cook behind the counter stared at me, as if I would make up my mind and order something, until he was distracted by the phone ringing.
Hello, Sunshine Diner. A what? Hold on. Hey, Father, there's a phone call for you.
The only person who could be calling me is the old man who got me into this time-traveling thing. Hello? I wasn't surprised when I heard his voice, cryptic as always.
There's a park 3 blocks south. Let's go for a walk, Father Kevin.
And there he is. Same old man from before. White hair, blue eyes, face like it's seen every century. He calls himself Uncle Angel.
You found your way, Father Kevin.
Yeah, well, God didn't leave a map.
You are here to find a man named Harry Brown.
And who exactly is Harry Brown?
The lost sheep. You'll know him when you see him. A sad soul. Bring him to a Dr. Bob.
Dr. Bob. As in the Dr. Bob? The Oxford group? Alcoholics Anonymous?
Harry's going to be a part of that beginning. Help make sure that it happens.
Didn't it already happen?
They are always attacking the timeline. We cooperate with
healing it.
Don't you know that?
And after I find him, this Harry?
After you take him to Dr. Bob, I want you to tell his wife a message. Tell her that Uncle Angel will be at the meeting tonight.
That's it? Sounds like a code.
My work is a need-to-know mission, and you don't need to know.
I'm not that interested in your secrets anyway.
Harry Brown, corner bar on Exchange Street. You'll find him there.
And if I don't? The old man stared, gave me half a smile, then said,
You will.
And then he walked away. What is the point of all this? Exchange Street, corner bar. What a dump. It's hidden in an alley. It's not too bad part of town. Now, where is this Harry Brown? 10 o'clock in the morning. And the corner bar on Exchange Street is already half alive. 3 men huddled together at the counter, drinking like it's midnight, staring into glasses that have nothing left to say.
We ain't open for sermons, Father.
The large bartender approached me with a nasty grin, bald and greasy. Just looking for a man, Harry Brown. You seen him?
Harry? Huh. That bum. He ain't welcome here no more. Not after last night.
What happened? His eyes cut sharp at the other drinkers. One man shifts uneasily, another pretends not to listen. Whatever Harry did wasn't small. He's in some kind of trouble then?
He is trouble. He's out of control.
Where do I find him?
Well, he works at the bank.
Thanks.
If he didn't get himself fired by now.
I step back into the daylight, and the smell of whiskey still clinging to my collar. God has me going through all this trouble over some pathetic drunk.
Hey, priest. You tell him he better never show his face in here again. You understand me?
The bank looks tired, paint peeling, air thick with ink and worry. I ask for Harry Brown, and after a few sideways glances, they lead me through a narrow hallway into an office that smells like old paper and whiskey.
You the one asking for me?
There he is. Balding, middle-aged, hands trembling like the spirit itself might pass through him. I stick up my hand. Harry glares at me. He's embarrassed. Still, reluctantly, with his trembling hand, he shakes mine. Father Kevin McCory. I'm taking you to a man named Dr. Bob. He can help you with the booze.
I see. One of my wife's holy roller friends sent you. She put you up to this.
Something like that. Listen, Harry, if you want to save your marriage and see your kids again, come with me.
They still talk about me?
They still pray about you. That's something.
All right, Father. I'll meet you there. 30 minutes.
I step outside, find a spot across the street, and wait. The clock over the bank ticks slow, like it's judging both of us. Right on time, Harry Brown walks out. He looks both ways, but not for me, for his next drink. And there it is, corner bar. See, some men run to salvation. Harry runs to the nearest bottle. And I guess I'm the fool God sent to follow him. I followed Harry into Sam's bar, thinking maybe I could talk him out of another drink. Instead, I walked straight into a storm. When I walked through the doorway, I could see the large bartender muscling up Harry.
I told you, Harry, not to come in here no more.
Come on, Sam, just one. Just one, I swear.
Take that, scumbag.
Please.
Stop, hey, that's enough. Bartender pushed Harry right into me. We were both pushed out the door. Harry dropped to one knee and assessed his injuries. What are you doing?
You're lucky you got that collar, Father, or I'd knock you...
All right, that's enough.
Man with a three-piece suit interrupted, stared down at the much taller bartender with a threatening demeanor.
Sorry, boss. I got carried away.
For a second, the street goes still again. Just the hum of a streetcar far off. Harry wheezing beside me, blood on his lip.
Hey, Father, this is my joint. So do yourself a favor and don't come back. You and your friend don't come back.
Harry wiped his mouth and just stared at the ground. Neither of us said much. We just started walking. We walked, neither of us really knowing where we were going. But then, we found ourselves in front of a house. Two broken men, side by side, heading toward a doctor who might just save one of us. The house was small, plain, like most things in Akron. But the light from the upstairs window felt different. It was warm, patient, like someone inside was waiting for Grace to show up. As we slowly climbed the steps, the door opened. There was a older man, in his shirt sleeves, looking both calm, resolute, and patient. The light was shining behind him.
Bring him upstairs, Father. Slowly. He looks rough.
Dr. Bob Smith, the man Uncle Angel sent me to find. He looked like he'd been through a few storms himself.
Sit down, Harry. Easy now. Half a can, no more. Help with the shakes. I can help you, Harry, if you've had enough and if you want to be helped.
You a doctor or a preacher?
Both when I have to be.
My wife, Marie, she wants me to stop.
Then I can't help you. I only can if you want to stop, and if you're ready to ask for God's help.
Tell my Marie I'll be staying here for a few days.
Where do I find her? Harry looked at the ground and muttered.
Choir practice, St. Nicholas Church. She'll be there.
Harry looked up and, with that trembling hand, took the beer. There was a long silence until Dr. Bob asked me,
What parish you from, Father?
Not here. I only came because God sent me to bring Harry to you. You both will never see me again.
I believe you.
And just like that, it was done. Whatever reason heaven had for sending me, it was for this. Now I have one more menial task. I have to give Harry's wife that cryptic message from the old man. St. Nicholas Church smelled like old hymnals and candle wax, the kind of scent that seeps into your soul. The choir was halfway through when I walked in, and I didn't mean to interrupt.
Can I help you, Father?
Looking for Marie Brown.
Marie, the Father would like to speak to you. Now, everyone else.
I'm Marie. Can I help you, Father?
It's your husband, Harry. He's getting help.
Help? He's tried before, Father. More times than I can count. I'm not getting my hopes up again.
Maybe this time's different.
They all say that.
I could tell Marie had had a conversation like this before. But before she turned to go, I gently reached out and touched her arm. Now there's something else. I have a message that I'm supposed to give you. It's important. Uncle Angel, he'll be at the meeting tonight.
Uncle Angel sent you? You work with him?
And her face changed. Like the sun pushing through clouds after a long winter.
Bless you.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, bless you, Father. Bless you.
I stood there, frozen, collar tight, eyes wide, while a room full of singers stopped mid-hymn to stare at the strange priest, hugged by a crying woman. And, for once, I didn't mind the attention. I felt useful, even though I have no idea what the significance of that message meant. When I stepped out of the church, the sun was just beginning to set over Akron, glowed like the last ember of a prayer that hadn't quite burned out. I remember looking straight into it, thinking, maybe, for once, I'd done something right. And then, nothing. No sound, no street, just light. Ugh. What? I woke up in my own bed. Same room, same silence. Clock. Reached 6 a.m. It's 2025 again. God, it felt like a lifetime in a blink all at once. I guess the Almighty decided to bring me home while I slept. The mission, whatever it was, must have been finished. At least my part of it. But something about it still gnawed at me. Marie crying when she heard Uncle Angel. Her face lighting up like she'd just seen a ghost. And that meeting. What was that old man really doing there? Lord, if you want to send me through this again, I'll go. I have nothing left to lose. I trust God, but not so much this Uncle Angel. Old man is up to something, and I'm going to find out what.
My name is Noelle McCory. In Akron, Ohio, 1940, I was only 10 years old, and something happened to me. It's a story I've never told aloud until now.
Time Traveling Priest, Episode
2.
In 1940, my mother had major issues, but saying that doesn't begin to explain her. She was a young widow, poor, lost in fantasy, and drowning under invisible storms. And yet, she loved me in her own broken way. My mom's friend Marie came running into our little apartment.
Marie, is everything all right?
Uncle Angel, he's gonna be here tonight. I just saw the messenger and he was wearing priest clothes. Uncle Angel will be here tonight.
Noelle and Nyla, did you hear that Uncle Angel will arrive tonight? He promised.
My sister Nyla was only 5 years old, but even she knew the importance of Uncle Angel.
Uncle Angel's coming tonight?
I'd never met him, but I heard about him my whole life. He was her prophet, her leader, her friend. Her little group would gather in our apartment. Odd people, gentle and strange. They literally spoke in riddles, in a code. They said their meeting kept enemies at bay. I didn't understand any of it. I don't think that they did either. You have to understand that poor and destitute people cling to radical religious and mystical ideas to feel like they have some kind of power in a world that pushes them down. Took me a long time to understand that about my mother. My father was her strength, and when he died, poverty crushed her.
He's here.
It was late at night. My sister Nyla was fast asleep, but I was wide awake and peered from the top of the stairs, my little loft where I could watch the adults talk without them noticing me.
Brothers and sisters, you have been very brave. The powers do move against us.
He
but
was
tonight,
older than my mother, gray hair, sharp features, an old man in his 70s. The firelight painted his face like a saint in a stained glass window. Everyone in the room seemed to hold their breath. I didn't understand the words, only the music of his voice, rising and falling like a sermon from another world. And then he stopped and pointed.
Ah, I see a little spy. Come, child, come here.
I felt fear in my throat. He was pointing at me, eavesdropping on them.
I remember you when you were just a baby. Can I tell you something? If you promise to always remember it.
I nodded my head yes and was very happy because I knew that he had some kind of present for me.
You know, I remember your father.
The moment he said father, I turned away. I turned away because I started to cry. Just the word father would make me cry at that age.
Now look at me, look at me.
Tears streamed down my face.
Your father, he was a great man. He was my friend.
I had so many emotions in that moment that I didn't understand. Looking back, I think for that moment, I believed it proved my father mattered. My father was important. If someone like Uncle Angel remembered him.
Now look at my hands here. They can carry many things to many people, and your hands can do that too. But today, my hands have for you this little teddy bear.
It was a silly little thing. Brown fur, button eyes.
It's a teddy bear, a gift for you, Noel.
Would you let me place my hands on top of your head just to give you another gift?
And could everyone please remain quiet and alert?
Yes, okay.
He placed his hand on my head, and I remember feeling heat from them. I clutched my bear and felt safe. The fire dimmed. Smoke rose from the fireplace, or maybe nowhere at all. Then he shouted,
No!
Oh, God.
I was scared until he smiled at me as if nothing had happened.
Now take your teddy bear and go to bed. It's late. Good night, Noel.
Good night, Noel.
Good night. Later that night, I couldn't sleep. Mother had gone upstairs, and she must have carried me back downstairs to the couch where I usually slept. The apartment was still. Until I heard them. Mice. We had mice in our apartment. Or at least, that's what my mother told me. When I grew up, I realized that we didn't have mice. These were larger and they hopped. They were rats. But on this night, 3 of them moved like shadows across the floor, I was just a scared little girl laying on a couch. I laid frozen with fear, paralyzed, watching the rats dance on the floor. Suddenly, the fattest rat leapt onto the couch where I laid and took my teddy bear and dragged it to the floor. It pulled the bear on top of himself. What were they doing with my bear? I thought as I watched in horror. Then, the bear, my bear, moved. Its arms bent. Its legs pressed down. The two rats ran away, leaving the fat rat laying helplessly under my bear. I realized that the rat didn't pull my bear onto himself, but that my teddy bear was pulling all of its weight onto that disgusting rat's neck as the rat struggled to free himself. And then I swear to you, I heard a snap. The rat laid dead. Then, the two rats returned, retrieved the fat rat's body, and carried it into the wall. The rats were gone. My bear turned, and full of life, it looked at me. My little bear dramatically bowed to me and then fell motionless on the floor. And then I fell asleep. I woke up the next morning. My mother picked up my bear from the floor, placed it in my arms, and kissed my forehead.
Go to sleep, Noel.
That was a long time ago. It took me decades to make sense of these events and my mother. I'm still not sure how much is true and how much is the traumatized imagination of a little girl. Today I live in Philadelphia. It's autumn, 1977. The city smells like rain and oil and fried onions. But I still believe that something is real about my Uncle Angel. I walk these streets looking for my daughter, Eleanor. She's in trouble, the kind you can't pray your way out of. I find myself praying for an angel to help me. I wish that Uncle Angel was here. I wish someone like him could reach down into this city and pull my girl out of the fire. But angels don't come to South Philly. Only cops and junkies and tired mothers. Eleanor. She's only 14, and I know she is frantically looking for a boy named Kevin.
My name is Father Kevin McCory. I've been a Roman Catholic priest for 14 years. God has me traveling through time on assignments with an old man called Uncle Angel as my guide. I've been suffering from depression and isolation my whole life. I have no idea why God is doing this. However, I comply with what he wants.
Time Traveling Priest, Episode
3.
Philadelphia, 1977. It's Broad Street, neon lights, steam rising from manholes, smell of soft pretzels mixes with gasoline. God sure has a sense of humor. I guess he likes to keep me guessing on what decade I'll wake up in next. I don't know why I'm here. Last thing I remember is falling asleep in 2025. Now, I'm wearing my cleric's, my priest uniform, if you will, and what looks like the 1970s. The cars, the lights, the people, and the music. Doo-wop, rock, soul. It's like the city's heart is beating through the sidewalk. All right, Lord, what's the job this time? Philadelphia Inquirer, October 27th, 1977. Well, I guess I'm right on time for something. Then I see him. Maroon Phillies cap, gray coat, always aloof and yet focused. sitting on a bench under a flickering streetlight, reading the Inquirer, like he owned the century. Old man?
Young man. You're late, Father Kevin.
Yeah, well, time travel doesn't come with an itinerary.
Well, you'll get the hang of it. Come on. Walk with me.
He walks like he knows where every secret in this city is buried. Same confidence, same mystery. I hate to admit it, but part of me is glad to see him. So what now? Another lost soul to rescue? Another timeline to redeem?
You make it sound like punishment.
That's what it feels like.
But there's a man you got to reach. A priest. Name's Father Michael Diamato. Just transferred to the Archdiocese here.
Transferred? Oh, what'd he do? Burn down a rectory?
Got into trouble with the bishop. They made him a hospital chaplain. But he never showed up to work.
So he quit?
He's hiding. And when he hides, there's many souls with no one.
And you want me to convince him to go back?
Well, it's the assignment.
Why would he listen to me? I'm barely hanging on myself.
Because you're a priest who understands.
What?
You doubt, you wrestle. You wonder why you wear that collar. I know you well. You'll find Father Michael at St. Mary's Rectory. Convince him to start showing up.
He started to walk away. He just decided to end the conversation. I grew annoyed and shouted at him. Hey! What if he doesn't listen to me? The old man turned back, and without even breaking a stride, he smiled. Then he was gone. Disappeared into the city, walking in a time where we both don't belong. What's he smiling about? What does he know? I'm getting sick of this act. And somewhere in this city, some priest isn't showing up to work. Seems like there's a lot of those in the church, and don't know why God is concerned about this one. You can tell when a priest's spirit is tired. You can see it in his eyes. The ones that used to light up during Mass, but now just stare at the floor, because he feels like he's a fake. Father Michael had that look. Look of a man who had an identity crisis, and never came out of it.
It's open.
Evening, Father.
You must be the bishop's new messenger boy.
Not quite. Let's just say a mutual friend sent me.
Sure.
He gave me that look. The one that says, I've had enough of priests telling me what God wants. We sat in the living room.
Drink?
No, thank you. Thought you could use a talk. Father Michael was a big man. Brown, but strong. We didn't look alike, but when his eyes met mine, I could see the same desperation. It's almost like looking in a mirror. I want you to start showing up at the hospital. It might not seem like a very important assignment, but the people there...
You ever make one mistake and have your bishop treat you like a child? I built up St. Margaret's from nothing. School, soup kitchen, standing room only every Sunday, and one mistake, and he sends me to hospital duty like I'm fresh out of the seminary. Bishop wants me out anyway.
Well, maybe God still has work for you. Maybe those hospital halls are exactly where you're needed.
Don't start preaching to me.
I'm not preaching. I'm reminding you. You were ordained for people, not for comfort.
You don't know shame at my age.
Tell me about it.
You want to know so you can tell your little friends? Fine.
That did it. His face went red and he stood up, like he was back in a pulpit, about to shout down a sinner. Only this time the sinner was him.
I lost my dignity, my ministry. I made a pass at my secretary. She's married. It was stupid, desperate.
That's when the fire went out of him. He sat back down, and all that was left was the ache. You're still a priest. Michael, whatever you did, that never vanishes. You but you still have souls to care for.
Who are you, anyway? Who sent you? What diocese are you from?
You're not going to believe me. But God sent me.
What? What did you say?
I was startled. I looked down at myself and I was fading away like a ghost.
What's happening to you?
My hands, gone. I looked back at Father Michael and his face was frozen halfway between fear and death.
Holy God.
Then, everything went black. Next thing I knew, I was back. 2025. 6 a.m. again. Guess Father Michael thinks I was an angel. Thinks he saw a miracle. And I guess he did see a miracle. Either way, my job is over. Another assignment completed. But I knew Uncle Angel, he wasn't done yet. My gut tells me he's still in 1977. He's working on something. I'm sick of being kept in the dark.
Well, Father Michael, haven't seen you around in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Thought I'd stop by. See if you got a list of Catholics on the floor.
Right here. Glad you came, actually. We've got a new patient, 14-year-old girl. Name's Eleanor McCory. We're trying to reach her mother. The girl tried to
hurt herself.
Yes. She's awake now, but she's been crying on and off all morning.
I'll go see her.
12B. Thanks for coming back, Father.
Sometimes it takes a while to find your way back. Eleanor, I'm Father Michael. I'm one of the priests who visit here. Would you like to talk for a bit?
I don't know.
That's okay. We don't have to say much. Sometimes silence is the best prayer we've got.
I messed up.
We all do, sweetheart. Tell me what happened, if you want to.
There's a boy. And I love him. But he's got a girlfriend. And when I told him about the baby, I'm pregnant. Kevin said the most awful things to me.
That must have hurt deeply.
I don't know what to do. I just wanted to stop. All of it. Today I saw a picture of a rat. It was so ugly. Like me. I just don't want to be here anymore.
Eleanor, you are not a mistake. You're God's child, and He hasn't given up on you. Not for a moment. You and that baby are loved so much. Even now, especially now.
I don't know what to tell my mom. She's gotta hate me.
No, she's your mother, and she'll still want you to come home. We can talk to your mom together, all right?
Okay.
God has a way of doing beautiful things in dark situations, like these.
My name is Nyla, and I haven't spoken to my sister Noelle in 15 years. Noelle, my older sister, the beautiful one, the one who thought angels would pay the bills and love would cure poverty.
Time Traveling Priest, Episode 4.
42 years old, anesthesiologist, unmarried, unapologetically so. I was born in Akron, Ohio, but I made something of myself. In 1977, a single successful career woman is a rarity. I accomplished that. I live in upstate New York, and after lunch, I take my walk. Same route, same 20 minutes. I tell myself it helps digestion, but really, it's a ritual. The doctors joke I'm obsessive. But when you're responsible for lives, routine is very important. Predictability keeps you steady, keeps you balanced. My sister would have had a promising career like me, but she gave it all up for a man who I told her would vanish, and he did. She just always saw the best in people, even when there was nothing but trouble. And she moved away with him, scraping by in Philadelphia. She would write letters to Mom and me, but I stopped reading them after the third one, for my own health, as the therapists like to say. You can't reason with delusion. I haven't even thought about Noelle in years, to tell you the truth. She only crossed my mind because I saw something gross. Oh God, that is ugly. A rat. My hospital, world-class medicine, but third-world sanitation. Noelle, she used to scream bloody murder at the sight of a rat. She'd jump on the furniture crying that the devil sent them. And my mom would whisper, God is protecting us. Well, that was back in Akron. That was our world. Angels and nonsense and rusted pipes. I swore I'd never look back. And I don't. But driving home today, something strange happened. There was a man walking along the road near the bridge. Old. Long coat that looked too warm for the weather. And something about him, the way he carried himself, it felt familiar. I couldn't place him, but my heart, it did something I haven't felt in years. Like a flutter or a warning. Who is he? Who was he? I told myself I was imagining things, but I had the feeling that the past was trying to speak again. When I got home, I tried to forget all about it, but my thoughts were interrupted by a knock at the door. Coming! Who could that be? I went to the door and I looked out the window, and I saw... It was the old man that I saw walking on the bridge before. I don't know why I did this, but I felt something come over me, and I just threw open the door without even thinking, and I said, Can I help you?
Nyla.
You? You were my mother's friend, weren't you? It can't be. You were old when I was a child. You haven't aged. You can't be Uncle Angel.
But I am.
You're real.
Yes.
And so are you. And so is your sister.
My sister, Noelle? Don't bring her into this. You don't know what she's done, who she's become. She ruined herself. A husband who left her, living on handouts and church prayers. She could have been successful. She could have... I looked up at his eyes and stopped mid-sentence. His eyes stared at me, and he looked sad, vulnerable. Who are you, anyway? Why would you visit my mother and her friends back then? What do you want from me?
I wasn't just a friend to your mother. I was your friend, too, when you were a little girl. Brought you gifts at Christmas.
The bracelets you would give me. And that bear Noelle loved so much.
And I've come to visit you again.
Again. Because it's time.
Time? Time for what?
To see Noelle.
No, I can't.
You'll find a way.
It's been too many years, too many things we said.
Nyla.
Noelle is in trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Go there and see.
I don't think I can.
You'll find the strength.
He stood up and placed his hand on my shoulder. I felt heat from his hand and was afraid to look up at him to show him my tears. I heard him walk to the door, and he was about to leave. Then I cried out, Wait, my mother? She...
Your mother was a wonderful woman, and still is, in heaven.
Uncle Angel. I ran to the door, opened it, and ran out to the sidewalk. I frantically looked up and down the street, but he was gone. No footprints, no shadow. Just the feeling of rain on my face, and the feeling that somehow the past was alive again. He was gone.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed.
The phone was dead, disconnected like our relationship. For a minute I thought, good, maybe I was off the hook. But then I found it. Mom's handwriting, tucked inside my old address book. Noelle's address. Full tank of gas, and 3 hours later, I was standing at her front step, rehearsing what to say to my sister. The sister I avoided half my life. Hi. Noelle.
Nyla?
I barely got the words out before she pulled me in. Tight, trembling. 15 years of silence was over just like that. We sat at her worn-out kitchen table, just like the one we had when we were kids. Same chipped cups, same smell of cinnamon and coffee in the house. You don't forget what poverty looks like.
You look good, Nyla. New York life must agree with you.
And you haven't changed. I saw someone. Noelle, I saw Uncle Angel.
You saw him?
He said we should talk. Her eyes softened the way they used to when she told me fairy tales about him. For once, I didn't roll mine. Is everything okay?
Oh, it's fine. Eleanor started high school and we get by.
How old is she now?
Eleanor's 14 now.
Oh, what's wrong, Noelle? I see it in your face.
Nothing. Just Eleanor hasn't been well.
Mom? Mom, who's here?
She was pale. Her wrists wrapped in fresh bandages. My stomach dropped. I didn't need to ask what had happened.
She's getting better.
I'm your Aunt Nyla.
Hi. How come I never met you?
That question hit like a blade, simple and clean. Because I was foolish? I thought my ideas about how people should live was worth more than family. I didn't like the choices your mother made. I didn't want her to be poor. But I was wrong. She gave up things for you. And family is worth suffering for. Just like your grandmother sacrificed for your mom and me. The young teenager threw her arms around me, and for a moment, the whole room felt lighter, like something holy had walked through. We talked for hours until she told me everything.
Oh, Aunt Nyla, I'm pregnant, and I'm scared. And we don't have any money to get the operation, and it's too dangerous without money.
I looked at Noelle. She looked saddened and helpless by her daughter's words. Eleanor, do you want to have an operation that takes your pregnancy away?
No, but Kevin.
That's the boy.
Kevin hates me. And I can't have the baby here. I can't afford to have it anyway. He doesn't want to see it.
Then it's settled. You and your mom are coming to live with me. We can take care of this baby together. Her eyes widened, half in fear, half in hope, and I realized that I meant every word.
Would you like to hold him, Aunt Nyla?
Oh, that's a beautiful baby boy. You are a very special baby, Kevin McCory.
My name's Kevin McCory. Today's the last day of the century. It's December 31st, 1999. I was 21, running a house not too far away from my family.
Time Traveling Priest, Episode 5.
Just finishing up some business at the community college. I like music, parties, loud nights, cheap beer. But my girlfriend, Kim, she was different. She'd already graduated. She'd already started a career, and She didn't drink. She'd been sent to rehab when she was 18. 5 years clean now. A walking miracle and a steady job. And a faith that could move furniture.
Hey, Kev, you up?
Yeah, just trying to convince myself that coffee counts as breakfast. You ready for tonight?
Almost. I'm stopping by your place first, okay? I want to talk before the party.
Oh, yeah, sure. Come by.
You sound thrilled.
No, I'm good. Still waking up. Truth is, I like parties. Just not with her. Not because she made me awkward and aware of myself. Just when I had a drink in my hand, she watched me the way a lifeguard watches a kid near the deep end. She never wanted any attention for her sobriety, but was always there. Always separated us. But she was good. Too good, sometimes. She reminded me of my grandmother. Same calm voice, same eyes that looked like they already forgave you. Coming. Come in, before you freeze.
You look half awake.
She smelled like peppermint gum and fresh laundry.
We don't have to go, you know. We could just stay in.
No. We've been looking forward to this.
I've been looking forward to you.
That's the thing about Kim. She could make the simplest line sound like a sermon. Made me want to be better, even when it felt impossible. I just smiled and said, "Let's see what tonight brings."
I'll meet you back here at 7, okay? We'll head over together.
Yeah, 7. Sounds good.
I love you.
I love you too. It was time to start drinking. Something to take the edge off before the party. But 1 turned into 2, then 3. It was New Year's Eve. Prince was right. I wanted to party like it was 1999. Yeah, get a little buzz going before Kim gets back. I knew I was a little tipsy, so I had to concentrate as I made the fire. I liked that fireplace. I liked the fire. The slow warmth, the way it crawled up from your stomach and settled behind your eyes. Made everything easier and softer. Even the empty house didn't feel so lonely anymore. There we go. That's better. I remember staring at the fire, watching the flames twist and dance like they were alive. Each flicker had a rhythm, a pulse. Somewhere in that rhythm I felt it. Something wasn't right. I heard the sound. Was it something in the wall? I thought I could hear something scurrying around. But just too tired. Just need to close my eyes for a minute. And then I fell asleep. The next thing I saw shocked me.
My name is Kim Moore, and I'm 23 years old. It's New Year's Eve, 1999. The century was ending, and it felt like the whole world was holding its breath.
Time-traveling priest, episode 6.
I just stopped in to see my boyfriend. We've been dating for almost a year, and it was starting to feel serious. The kind of serious that might actually be real. I kissed him goodbye, and I told him I'd be back around 7.
I love you too.
Then I drove off, thinking about what to wear and stopped by the store to pick up some makeup and a few things for the night. When I walked out with my shopping bag, I saw someone standing near my car. At first, I could have sworn it was Kevin, but when I got closer, it wasn't him. He was an old man, white hair, piercing blue eyes, and a face that looked familiar somehow. Can I help you?
Did you come from the greenhouse on the corner?
Yes. Why?
There's a fire. You better go back.
I didn't even think to question him. I just thanked the man and I drove off, but halfway there my mind started spinning. Why didn't he call the fire department? Why did he look so familiar? So calm. I kept wishing I'd brought my new cell phone, but I barely used it. I didn't think I'd ever need it for something like this. When I pulled up to Kevin's house, there were no flames, no smoke outside for a second. I thought maybe I'd imagined it, that the man was just some confused neighbor. Kevin! Kevin, are you in there? And then I smelled it. Smoke. Heavy and sharp, like burning wood and something else. Kevin! Kevin, open the door! I tried to look through the window, but it was fogged over, gray, thick, impossible to see through. And then I saw a brick sitting by the porch railing. Kevin! Kevin, wake up! Kevin! The house was full of smoke. The fireplace was blazing.
Kim?
Oh my God, you're alive! Get up! You've got to get up! I threw open every door, every window. The smoke poured out like a dark river, and then I saw it. The chimney flue was closed. Kevin! Kevin, you could have died if I hadn't come back. If that old man had told me to. After the smoke cleared, we decided not to go anywhere. No parties, no countdowns, just the two of us. The new century could start without us. We spent the night together, not talking much, just holding on to the fact that he was alive.
Hey, Kim?
Yeah?
I was thinking, tomorrow? It's New Year's Day. Maybe you could come with me to dinner? You meet my mom, my grandma Noelle, and Aunt Nyla. It's kind of a family tradition.
You want me to meet your family?
Yeah.
I didn't say it out loud, but my heart was racing. It was another sign that Kevin was ready to go closer to me.
Especially my grandma, Noelle. She's gonna love you.
I'm so glad you're okay, Kevin. I don't know what I'd do without you. I always want to be with you.
Nah, maybe we will. Maybe we'll grow old together. Tell the grandkids how we survived the night the century turned.
I'd like that.
You know, I'm always depressed. And I'm sorry to burden you with all that.
You can talk about that stuff with me.
I know. I know I can.
His hand was warm in mine. I closed my eyes and held on. Somewhere outside, the world was celebrating, but for us, we had each other, and that was enough. New Year's Day. Today is the year 2000. Man, that sounds weird. We drove through the snow, the roads quiet, like the whole world was still asleep. Kevin had invited me to meet his family, and I couldn't help but feel like this was the start of something real, something lasting.
Hey, so before we get there, a little warning. My grandma Noelle, she's into some weird religious stuff. Angels, visions, mystical dreams. It's
Oh,
that
Kevin,
kind of thing.
don't be so hard on her. I believe in angels, too.
Yeah, and you believe in everything.
Well, maybe that's what keeps me happy. I thought he was exaggerating, but when we pulled into the driveway, the little blue house surrounded by mysterious trees, something about it felt different, like time slowed down just a little. Oh, dinner was wonderful. Warm, noisy, full of stories about family and old times. They treated me like I'd always belonged there.
Okay, I'm gonna walk my mom and Aunt Nyla over to drop off these leftovers to the neighbors. You stay here with Grandma. Isn't she great, Grandma?
Here you go, dear. A little coffee to warm you up.
Thank you. Dinner was lovely.
You love Kevin, don't you?
Yes, I really do.
And you love God.
Kevin told you that, huh? Well, yeah, I try. I pray. I go to church. He said we had a lot in common.
We do. We both love Kevin.
There was something about the way she said it. Not possessive, not jealous, just knowing. Mrs. McCrory, can I tell you something strange? last night there was a fire and Kevin almost, well, died, and there was this old man.
Blue eyes, white hair, tall. Like Kevin?
Yes. Well, how do you know?
That's Uncle Angel.
He saved Kevin's life. Was he an angel?
Well, I'm not sure. But he's been a part of my life and Kevin's life, even if Kevin doesn't know it.
My God. That's amazing that you know about that old man before I told you. Wow. Maybe there was a reason we saved his life. Maybe I can help Kevin get serious about God.
No, dear, you won't.
What do you mean?
Kevin is still a child. He's not ready for marriage, not ready for anything serious. He'll find his way, but not with you.
That's so harsh.
Kim, life is all about letting go. The older you grow, the more you let go of. We even have to let go of the ones we love most. And you'll have to let him go. Very soon.
Oh, man. I ate that ice cream way too fast. Oh, I got a brain freeze. My professor's just such a jerk. Said my paper
He talked the whole way home about his grades, his teachers, his depression. And I just listened, knowing deep down his grandma Noelle was right. I wanted Kevin to be someone who grew up quick so we could start our lives together, but that wasn't who he was. I knew I had to let him go, and I would be okay.
My name is Father Kevin McCory. I've been a priest for almost 14 years, and I suffer from depression.
Time Traveling Priest, Episode 7.
It's October, 2025. The weather outside's gray, kind of gray that gets under your skin. Trees look like bones, stripped bare, waiting for whatever comes next. Today, I'm driving back to New York. Grandma Noelle is 95, and she's dying. She just started hospice care, and I wanted to make time to visit her. She outlived my mother and Aunt Nyla. God, I can't figure out how she did that. I'll do the priest thing, bring the oils, offer the sacraments, say the prayers, say goodbye. I never liked her kind of spirituality, the visions, angels, prophecies, all that mystical stuff. I used to cringe when she would say how important I was in God's plan. Like she could see something I couldn't. But it meant something to her. Kept her alive. And maybe that's what faith really is. Holding on to something that no one else understands. She's a simple soul. God understands that. Even if I never did.
She's been waiting for you. She's been talking up a storm in there.
That sounds like her. Thank you. I'll sit with her.
Kevin. Kevin, you came.
I did, Grandma. How are you feeling?
Tired, but happy. I've seen him again.
Seen who?
Uncle Angel. He was standing by the window, right there in the curtains. The light from the snow made him glow.
You've always had quite the guardian angel, Grandma.
No, Kevin, I finally understand. After all these years, I know who he is.
Who is he, Grandma?
It's you, Kevin.
Oh, Grandma.
You were Uncle Angel all along.
You're on a lot of medication, and, you've had dreams before.
No dream. I remember now.
Okay.
You came to me when I was a young woman. When your mother was in trouble, when Nyla was lost. You brought hope every time. It was you. In every storm, in every heartbreak. I didn't recognize your face until now, but the eyes. Your eyes, they're the same.
Rest. Just rest, Grandma. You've done enough good for a lifetime.
You were God's instrument. You helped me become one too.
She drifted off after that. She died 2 days later. But her words, they stayed with me the whole drive home. She thought I was Uncle Angel. A myth. A family ghost. And I played along because I couldn't bear to take that comfort away. I am just a vessel. Some hollow man patching other people's wounds with holy stories I don't believe anymore. Placating the vulnerable who aren't strong enough for this harsh world. I'm so tired of playing along. Home, if you can call it that. A cold rectory. Half-broken furnace, smell of old candles. My grandmother was dying and I just buried my faith beside her. So I made a fire. It's funny how the same thing that warms us can kill us. I always loved to stare at flames. I remember in my 20s, when I used to think I was deep, I'd stare at a fire all night. I nearly died that one time because I forgot to open the flue. What would it be like to fall asleep again? Just drift off like before. That's a curious sound. Familiar. What is in the walls? Mice, rats? Something worse? Grandma Noel would always say, bad forces lurk. How silly, but I really wanted to close the flue just to see what would happen. Just feel the warmth one more time. Just one twist, one breath, one sleep. What? Who could that be? It felt like someone had reached through me and pulled me out of myself. The house was quiet. I'm coming. Hello? Anyone? Is anyone there? Strange. There's not a soul out here. Kids again. Maybe. Knocking and running off. There we go. That's better. I turned from the fire and froze. Someone was sitting in my chair. The flames lit his face. Calm. Waiting. Then I saw it. It was me. Older, worn. Every line I hadn't lived yet staring right back at me. And in that moment I knew this wasn't a dream. It was something that had been waiting for me all along. His face, my face, was my face, aged, staring at me. Who are you?
You know who I am.
No. Your face. In an instant I understood. I just knew who the old man was. And I grew angry, even tricked. Why?
Why were you touching the flue?
You know why.
I know why.
Why are you here? Why'd you appear to Grandma? What do you want from me?
Our priesthood is a gift, and God does not take back his gifts.
A gift? You call this loneliness a gift?
God wants to give you another gift. You will travel through time. You will be sent where God needs you.
Travel through time? This is stupid. Why me? Such a poor choice.
Because we are a poor choice. And that's exactly the kind of man God uses. He does great things with weak men like us.
Kevin, do you comply?
Haven't I already said yes?
You comply. Our choice.
Yes! I'll go. Then I thought I heard a voice. But I understood that my first assignment, it'll be in 1940, Akron, Ohio. My name, Father Kevin McCory. I had 2 assignments where I time traveled to the past and did what I was supposed to do. I await my 3rd assignment, but this time, I want some answers.
Time Traveling Priest, Episode 8.
I woke up, went downstairs for my coffee. I wasn't too surprised to find the old man sitting at my kitchen table, drinking coffee.
Baltimore, 1989. Gilchrist Center Hospice.
Baltimore? What's there?
You'll know when you get there.
You always say that. You know I'm not your puppet. I don't like being part of this game. Just tell me why I'm being sent. Really. The old man stared at me without saying a word. The next thing I knew, I was outside a brick hospice on a cold Baltimore morning. Gilchrist Center. A place for the forgotten to die. And me, standing there in a borrowed year. 1989, Baltimore. I'd never been to Baltimore before. In 1989, I was 11, and we lived in New York State. We never even visited Baltimore. Why was I here? And then I found myself standing in front of a rundown hospital. I couldn't even read the name. The lights were burnt out. But I knew this was where I had to be. Excuse me, miss. Any patients who might want a prayer?
Mm-hmm. The list is on the counter.
The names meant nothing to me. Until one did. Kevin O'Brien. I'm sorry. Can you tell me about Kevin O'Brien?
Yeah, room 12. He's dying of AIDS like almost everybody else here. He's young, though. Late 20s. He checked himself in last week. The boy's barely conscious.
I sank back a step. Under 30, sick, dying. I was about to meet my dad, the kid who got my mother pregnant. I saw him lying there. A young man, so fragile, pale. This was the AIDS epidemic of the 80s. My father was just a boy himself, dying alone in a world that had forgotten him. He looks like me, same features, same eyes, and yet so broken by time, by disease, by life. I couldn't help myself. I went to him. Do you want to talk?
Just go. Leave. Just go.
Tell me about your life. I said the words before I even thought. He was half delirious from all the morphine.
I've always been broke. Never been smart. Everybody looks down on me. But the one thing that I liked was being with people, you know? That's the only thing I had. But now, I'm dying. I'm dying alone. And I hurt people because I hurt people. I gotta die with nobody.
Do you want to tell me about the people you hurt?
Oh God. You got to understand, when they told me I got the disease, I couldn't go the rest of my life without sex. I just couldn't do it. I didn't want to tell people about it. I didn't want to believe that I had it. And now, other people got this. Because of me. Oh God, other people are gonna die. I deserve to die. I don't care anymore. I made a mess of everything. I can't stand being alone anyway.
Would you like that to count as your confession?
What do you mean?
I'm a priest. I can reconcile you to the church and I can absolve your sins. Let me do it.
Wait. I got girls pregnant. I know I got children that I never met. I just didn't care. But I regret it. I regret everything.
God, Father of mercies, through the death and resurrection of his Son, has reconciled the world to himself and sent the Holy Spirit among us for the forgiveness of sins. Through the ministry of the church, may God give you pardon and peace. And I absolve you from your sins in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Wait, who are you?
Dad, I'm your son. His weak hand touched mine.
I knew it. I knew it. My son the priest. Good for you. Good for you.
And then he dozed off to sleep. I sat there in the chair across from him, alone with the weight of his life and mine, watching, waiting, as the death rattle grew. Time stretched an hour, maybe an eternity. He was gone. Yet I sensed a presence. A woman's presence, warm, familiar. I didn't have a sister, but it felt like my sister was in the room. Was it more of Uncle Angel's magic, or some other force? So many hidden mysteries. And then I woke. Not in the hospice, not in 1989. I was back. And there he was. Uncle Angel. Waiting for me to speak. Why are you here?
We should talk about our dad.
I didn't know he died like that. Alone. Miserable.
He wasn't alone. We were there.
You know, life would have been different with a father. He wasted his life. That's just a sad fact. I guess God forgave him.
We forgave him too. But Dad didn't waste his life. He just had an awkward start. He's still alive, you know, working for us in heaven. Heaven is not a boring place, after all.
Well, what's my next assignment?
Today you have the people of 2025 to minister to.
No, I mean, when do we work together again?
Well, Father Kevin, that is a matter of time.